Okay, so first thing we're going to do is get the patterns, alright? I pulled these off of Google. Like when I went through trying to find different patterns and different mask designs that we like, that something that I could work with and something that would still look really, really cool for the drama cart that is going to be attached to. So, this is the frown face on that one, and smiley face on that one. Okay, put them both together. Alright, that's what it looks like. Now, a couple things that you want to look for when you're looking for the patterns. You want to make sure that everything is going to be connected, that there's no floating white parts in the design, okay? You can see here, once the face is cut out, you got little black parts here for the bottom part of the lip, the chin dimple, the nose, the mouth, obviously, the wrinkles for the the mouth wrinkles right there, those. The eyes and the wrinkles around there, okay? There's no floating white parts in these whatsoever, okay? Now, these are relatively simple patterns, and believe it or not, these actually showed up in color originally, and what you can do is, once you find the pattern that you like, make a copy of it, put it on like a Word document on your computer, and just change the color on there to just black and white. If I can figure out how to show how to do this on the computer, I'll upload this as maybe a separate video, or maybe I'll attach it in a later part of the video. But once you get the patterns all set up and you get them cropped to the proper size that you want, kind of run to the store, pick up the lumber. Okay, back from the store, got a 2-foot by 4-foot piece of just Luan plywood. Alright, if you look, it's not anything super pretty. You know, nothing real special on it, but it's got a really nice smooth grain to it. Not a whole lot going on, which is kind of nice. So it's going to take the blades really well. On this, I'm probably not even going to have to use a scroll saw. I should be able to do the majority of this just with a Dremel or a jigsaw. But first, time to clean the shop, because that's my table saw right now. So I've got to clean all that crap off of there and make a little bit of room. Alright, so at this point, I got the squares cut out. Alright, went ahead and just went with squares, that way I have plenty of real estate to work with and maneuver these things around and clamp it and hold it and glue it and all that jazz. So I've got 4 squares and stacked them on top of one another. And basically what I'm going to be doing is attaching the pattern onto the top piece of Luan, okay? To attach that, you can use just painter's tape or just some regular masking tape, and you only need to attach one side of it. Alright, some guys might want to do 2 sides, but you don't want to do any more than just 2 sides. The reason for that is once you get your transfer paper, alright, and this stuff is sold at craft stores like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart might have it, but basically how this stuff works is once you put it down on the surface, alright, once a little bit of pressure goes on there, it transfers onto your material. So in this case, going to be lifting this up out of the way, flatten this down. Now you don't want to attach the carbon paper, alright, or the transfer paper. That way you can kind of move it around if you need to, if there's like a certain spot you just can't get to. And you're going to hold it down just like that, and then you're going to trace around the entire pattern. All your the black sections are going to be removed here in a minute. You're going to trace all those with a pen or a stylus or something. So that way, once you have your pattern on here, you just take it over the saw, start cutting it out. Alright, now that those are done, a couple of considerations when you're doing these type of pictures and you are tracing it. If you look at this right here, if you follow the black exactly, the part the negative, the part you're going to be taking out, and you come down this way here, obviously you want to go that way. Well, in this case, no, you don't. You want to cut that part out of it. So you just kind of, need to be creative and kind of connect from here all the way down the same type of line on this side as well. Okay, so you might have to improvise a little bit. On this one, the tape went over just a little bit onto the pattern. Does that matter? Absolutely not. As long as the pressure of the pencil or the stylus or the pen is transferring all the way through and you're still getting a good solid line on your material, you're going to be good to go. Okay? Now it's going to be a little bit difficult to see unless you make it in the light a little bit better. Just let me see a little. There we go. Hope you guys can see that okay. It is basically, it looks like a pencil outline of what the pattern is going to be. And again, you might need to improvise. You might need to improvise the pattern just a little, just to kind of suit your needs. So you don't have any of the white positive space falling out of it. But then just kind of check periodically just to make sure that everything still looks right. You don't want to have to make all these weird connecting lines and pieces, and then you kind of lose what the image is. All right. So next step, take it over to the saw. All right, welcome to my highly sophisticated saw table apparatus. Okay, basically what this is I got a little workstation right here. It's just a freaking table. All right, I got some scrap wood just sitting up here, kind of thick. All right, you can use just 2x4 if you need. And my project is going to be going right on top. Okay. Now the reason for this, what I call saw table, is because the majority of what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be using a jigsaw to cut these shapes out. Alright, so to make sure that the stroke of the jigsaw does not jam into the bottom of my table, we have some real estate up underneath. That's why it's up on this stand, basically. Okay, now how am I going to get this saw blade into the sections that I want to remove? I'm using the drill. Okay, this I've got a 3/8 of an inch drill bit. It's a spade bit tucked in here, because that's about the size that I need for the blade to pass through without a whole lot of difficulty. All right. Now, some of these other sections that are in here, say like right here. Obviously, this is a lot bigger than what the drill bit is, or the drill bit's a lot bigger than what this hole is going to be. So I'm going to use a what's called a plunge cut to get into those sections. It's kind of a tricky maneuver, but I'll show you how you can do it. But it's one of those things where try it at your own risk, or don't try this at home, however you want to look at it. This piece of tape that I have on here is just to keep the two pieces together, because I need to get two of these and they need to be identical. So I just taped these together, just some ordinary masking tape. You can also use some double-sided carpet tape that works just fine. But if you decide to use carpet tape, you need to be real careful with it, because one, it's kind of expensive, and two, when you pull everything apart, it can hold a little bit tighter than this. So there's a possibility you could actually break and shatter your project as you're trying to pull those two sections apart. All right. So normally I'll just go with some double-sided masking tape if I have to make duplicates. And there you have it. Here's the two frown-faced masks. Get back here a little bit. All right. See, nice and frowny. All right. So finished cutting these out, and hopefully you guys saw when I was doing that plunge cut technique, where basically you start the saw holding it right here, and you anchor it right on the base, You pull the trigger and then you drop it down into the piece of wood. It takes some practice. And truth be told, there's a couple times where I missed, right, and it was bouncing around a little bit, got a little bit of damage. But it's all good because these are mirror images. I just flip it around, okay? And since these are going to be painted anyway, it's not that big of a concern. I can easily put in a little bit of wood fill on here, and they're totally going to be good to go. Alright, and if you notice, I'm going to show you my special sanding technique that I use on these things. You see in here, you have these little fuzzy areas, okay, just where the grain's a little bit torn up. It's going to happen, obviously, you're working with a very, very thin veneer wood. So you have these little tear out pieces right here and along the edges and stuff, okay. Real easy way to take care of these is with fire, okay. I'm totally serious on this too. Alright, check it out. Little fuzz balls right there. Now you're just barely touching it with the flame, just kind of burn off those little sections. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. Obviously, don't set your shit on fire, okay? Be very, very careful when you're doing this. And some of these larger ones, if they don't come off too well, don't sweat it, because what this will do is it makes it so you can just kind of brush some of these things right off, okay? Obviously, you're still going to hit it with a little bit of 120 sandpaper, just kind of, smooth it out all nice and neat. Then hit it with some 220, and then you should be good to go. Now, you got to cut out smiley face. That's a pretty wicked time lapse, wasn't it? That's the first time I've done that in one of my videos. I was just watching this with a playback, and I was totally amazed. I thought it was kind of cool. So share this, man. This is a cool video. So anyway, just like at the end, this is what we got. We got smiley face, we got frown face, and these things are basically like an optical illusion. Okay, change this to lighting so bad. You cut out the negative sections, all the black sections, and then you have to put it up against a contrasting background. Because right now, you can't sort of tell what this is, but as soon as it's up against a background, drop down a little bit, it really comes out. All right. So that's kind of the cool thing about doing. It's basically called scroll saw portraits, but this is what it is. So gonna hand these off to my partner in crime, my beautiful wife. She's going to paint these things. I think one is going to be white and one's going to be black. I'm not really sure if it's going to be going up against a really pretty burgundy background on this box that I built, which once it's all together, I'm going to show you the final product.